So, on today's BD at Home Coffee Break Catch-Up, I'm delighted to be joined by one of our wonderful Team Quest teams. So, I'm going to welcome to the show Fiona, Sarah, Janet, Mel and Kieran, and these are the wonderful ladies who make up Mel's Bells. Fabulous. And Sarah, you touched briefly on it earlier. We're really lucky. We've got a lot of very, very wonderful professional riders in our sport, not just in dressage, but across all of the equestrian disciplines. Who would your rider idols be? Who is it that inspires you?
Well,
I have to say, Charlotte Desjardins, she is a fantastic and successful rider, and she is a great ambassador for our sport, and all that on such young shoulders. I think she's just marvellous. I have had the privilege of seeing her perform several times, and I don't know how she does it. She's so young and so successful.
I haven't really got into the dressage world that much yet. So my sort of public idols are more in the eventing world, and somebody I really have a lot of time for is Mary King, because I think she's done very well, and she always seems to have a smile on her face as she's been enjoying what she's doing. And another one is I admire is Andrew Nicholson, because he just seems to have this ability to get any sort of horse around a cross-country course and to have the most amazing stickability doing it. And I admire those sort of people for still being able to do it when they're a little bit more advanced in their years.
Right, me next. I think probably I like Fiona. I'm not so well up on watching the dressage because I've been in it such a short time. So other than the obvious ones that you hear about a lot, but I think probably casting my mind back, the one personal, the combination I think that has given me a lot of pleasure watching some years ago was actually Mark Todd and Charisma. And I think the reason for that is basically because that horse was a pony, and it was 15-2, I think, and he's a very tall man. And I remember always being so amazed they ever got from one end of a cross-country course to another safely without him hitting his toes on any fences. I mean, it was an extraordinary combination. And not only that, my pony is only 15 hands, 15-1. So that little horse was only a smidgen bigger than Belle is now. So how they ever got round these, what were 4-star courses then and 2 Olympic gold medals, just unbelievable. That's my inspiration.
My inspiration is, I go to lots of dressage events, the high level ones, the lower level ones. I love watching them all. I think they're all amazing, producing the younger horse, getting the older horses still to perform. They're all you know, people to watch and admire. The person I have really enjoyed watching over the years for his riding is no longer with us. It's Tim Stockdale. I enjoy watching him so much. He sits so quietly. It's so effortless. Nothing is ever a problem. Whatever the horse throws at him, his hands are always beautifully still and quiet. He was just a man that whose riding I admired. Whatever he was sat on always looked so easy, regardless of what was going on. And I'm a person that never leaves the ground. But for me, he was an amazing horseman.
Oh, that's wonderful. All very inspiring. And if you could each pick one top horse, past or present, to have a little ride on, who would it be?
Right, I think I've cheated a bit here because all the top horses, I don't think I'd be capable of riding them anyway. I wouldn't be up to that standard. But if I could choose a horse, it would be my old mare, Abby, who I hunted for 15 years. She was fantastic. She would have been useless at dressage. In fact, I did do a couple of one-day events with her. Dressage, no, but she would jump anything. So that would be my choice. I'm sorry.
I think I might have to go for 2 here. I would love to say that I would like to have ridden Villegro, because he just such a character and what he could do perform. as Jan said, the chance of me ever pressing the right buttons is highly unlikely, and goodness knows what would have ended up happening. The poor horse wouldn't have known where he was going from 1 minute to the next. And the other one is, I think I loved watching when he was competing, and this is quite a long time ago, was that beautiful grey horse Milton that John Whitaker used to show jump. And he must have given you the most amazing feeling over a jump. And that, you know, again, I'd never jumped the size of jump that they jumped, but just to have a jump on him would be lovely.
I think I'll stick to my original one. If I had the chance, I'd love to have sat on Charisma. Definitely.
And my top horse lives at home with me. I'm actually really very privileged to have Stormhill Michael, who lives with me, who's taught me. He was given to me. I met him when he was at the top of his game, and then to be given a schoolmaster like him was amazing, really. He has taught me so much. I have done so much with him. I've done tempi changes. I scored in the 80s at an elementary test, which is what I wanted to do. When I was given him, I thought, oh, I'll never ride him. I'll never be able to ride a horse like this. He's amazing. He's lovely. He is a credit to our sport, of people that have put in an awful lot of effort in educating horses to that level. He's semi-retired now. He's retired from competing last year, which is why, unfortunately, I needed to buy another horse. But he is my top horse. He is amazing. And a lot of these old top horses are a credit to the people who have trained them. He's amazing. I'm very lucky.
Brilliant.
I can really vouch for Sarah here, because when she first got him, I think she was so worried about riding that level of horse that she used to sit there like a complete, I won't quite say sack of potatoes, but she literally didn't dare move or do anything. And he taught us so much, and her riding had just improved in leaps and bounds after riding him. But she was so worried. I remember going to her first dressage test with her, and I mean, there's something, I can't remember what the judge said, something about, you know, could do a bit more or something, but Sarah just sat there because she was so worried, and the change and had to go and get, you know, do an elementary and get such a good score. It shows you how much an older horse like that can teach you and improve you.
That's fabulous. That's really, really interesting and lovely answers. And we're all horse people, but thinking outside of horse sport and outside of dressage, if you could pick one other sport to compete and train in, what would it be?
Well, if I was 50 years younger, it would be hockey. When I was at school, I was quite a good hockey player, and I loved it. I played centre forward, and I just loved the game. But I'm too old now. But yes, hockey.
When I was a bit younger, I played a lot of badminton, and I played quite a lot of league badminton and things, and I'd like to have had the opportunity to train properly for that and get a bit better than I was. I used to get a little bit over competitive and get slightly frustrated with my inabilities, but it would have been nice to have gone a bit further in that sport.
If it was me, I think I would definitely go for tennis. I was quite good at it at school, and I played a bit of league in a local tennis club. I think I reached the final actually in the ladies singles one. So I was quite a useful tennis player. So yes, if I had a little bit more time and maybe not 2 horses and not involved in farming, yeah, tennis would be the one for me.
If I had more time, I wish. Anything that makes me come out in a sweat is not possible.
You don't sweat. You don't get warm, Sarah. You're always cold.
It's a temple. It's best not to ramp it. I really like to be quite good at dog agility. I love it. It's just a really good sport that's just really fun, and I'd really like to give it.
Actually, I have to admit, that is something I would love to have a go at as well, is dog agility. I'm not quite sure my current lurcher would be up for it, but I'm sure I could find one that would be.
There we go. Maybe that's the way forward. Maybe next year we need to do this year we need to have quest with dog quest as well. We could mix something like that in there. That'd be fun.
Absolutely. We've all got dogs, so I'm sure we could do that.
I'm not sure about my Dachshund. I don't think it was the
Well, we can do
agility.
ones that they go under rather than over.
Yeah, yeah, it'd have to be that.
Super. And moving on to our next question, do you either individually or collectively as a team, do you have any superstitions or lucky charms?
Well, I
That's
got
yours,
landed with
Fiona.
this one, and I personally really couldn't think of any superstitions or lucky charms that I sort of have. Having said that, my lucky charm is probably my dog Bamson, who basically goes everywhere with me and is always in the lorry while I'm competing and things. And I had a very successful Team Quest season last summer, my first season. I think my horse was very lucky to be placed sort of, I think, to every competition I did. I'm sure Bamson was partly the reason for that. And it's also, as you can probably gather, we have a slight drinking sort of culture, not serious drinking culture, but we do rather like a gin and tonic, except Sarah, who doesn't like gin, so we have to give her wine instead. And we like to just have a little bit of that after we've had done our tests, after we've done our tests, not before, just to and not so much that we can't drive safely home, but that is our other sort of little superstition that we have to have with us.
Apart from what she fails to tell you is that Fiona Russell-Brown and her drinking, we were at a BD competition, a quest competition, and Fiona actually fell out of my lorry.
I had a drink at that point. Yes, it was a rather serious fall.
Oh my goodness, that's brilliant, brilliant tales.
Well, you haven't heard the half of it yet.
Wonderful. And our final question before we move on to some fun quick fire questions. We'll pass it around all of you. What would your ultimate dressage goal be?
For me, as I've literally only really started getting serious, and the highest level I've probably done recently is a prelim. It would be nice to perhaps get to aim for doing a novice, and if that went really well, then maybe I could do an elementary, but that would be as high as I'd ever get, I think. So I don't think my riding has been any more than that myself. But it would be fun to try and move up the levels and be realistic about what you can achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And my Roxy, bless her, wouldn't be the most naturally sort of gifted, but the most lovely rhythm and paces, but she's not a sort of fancy, length and stride type horse or anything. So, I think novice, possibly elementary, would be as far as she would go. I might get the bug so much, I'm always trying to go even further, but at the moment, that's where
Right, as a team, we've been won and placed at the regionals in 2019, and we won at the regionals in 2020. Who knows what 2021 is going to bring? But I would really like, as a team, to qualify for the regionals again and be in the top 3 of the regionals, so we could go to the finals, and to have a placing at the national finals would be fantastic. So that's what my aim is, that if we could do that. Now, will it be this year? It may not be till 2022, but none of us know that, do we?
Right. Well, I think I'm going to go along the same lines. We did remarkably well last year. It was such a shame we couldn't maybe take our rightful place at the nationals and do as much better than we did the year before, when I was involved. But I think for me personally, on a young horse, I'd like to progress up the ranks and make a good job of cantering round a sandpit, not just trotting round it. That's my ultimate goal.
My goals, I suppose, was before Michael retired from competing, I bought myself some tails, and I would really like to be able to compete in tails.
Oh.
And I think having Michael has shown me that anything is possible. You can do it. Anything is possible with the right partnership. So one day I hope to squeeze myself into my tails on Gem and think, yeah, I did it. It's good.
Brilliant. I wish you all lots of luck. They're fantastic goals, and you're all wonderful. So I really do wish you luck in those.
I would just, I'd like to add, if I could, Camille, that a very short-term goal would be just for the 4 of us team members to get together to have a photograph of the 4 of us with our team winners' sashes on. Because
we didn't do that.
No presentation at the regionals, and we couldn't, and we haven't had a chance since to get together with our rosettes and sashes. So a short-term goal will be get over this COVID, get the 4 of us together for our team photo with our trainer, with our sashes and our rosettes. That would be lovely.
It'd be lovely with the horses as well, if we could, wouldn't it? To try and do it with all the horses we had as well.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be a great.
Maybe we could send that to, once we eventually manage to do that, perhaps we could send it to BD and see if they want to put it somewhere for us.
Yeah, and we would really, really love to see that. I think that's a really lovely short-term goal. And again, I will look forward to seeing that and seeing you all reunited. That would be really wonderful. And so what we're going to do now to end our chat, which has been so fabulous, thank you all for your time. We are going to run through some quick fire questions. They're super fun. I just want one answer, the first thing that comes into your head. For those who are listening and not watching, the order that we're going to run in is Jan, Fiona, Kyron and Sarah. So what I will do is I will ask a very quick question and then you just fire your answers straight back at me. Okay, so to get us started, tea or coffee?
Tea. That's Jan, tea.
Are we all answering the same question?
We are.
All right.
Yes.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Double espresso.
Tea.
Oh, 50-50, wonderful. And next we are going to do sweet or savoury?
Sweet every time.
Savoury.
Sweet.
Both.
Eating.
And away from catering, beach or mountains?
Oh, beach, please.
Beach, definitely.
Beach.
Mountain.
Almost a complete beach holiday, almost. And back to sport, football or rugby?
Rugby.
Rugby, definitely.
Rugby.
Rugby.
Full house, wonderful. And back to horses, mare or gelding?
I think mares, actually.
Having now had a mare,
Yeah, mare for me.
Got one of each. I can't say. I love them both.
I think that's completely fair.
Yeah.
And, we're staying on horses, thinking about tack. Blingy or classic?
Classic every time.
classic for me as well.
Oh, classic.
Classic.
There's our age.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And we're going to think a little bit about free time now. So books or films?
Books for me.
Books for me.
Oh, film every time.
Book.
Brilliant. And trot or canter?
It depends on surface and where you are. I would think trot, actually.
Canter for me.
Oh, I've got the naturally balanced canter.
Extended trot every time.
Well, I haven't got to that yet.
Yeah, not mine.
Which leads me nicely onto my final one, because extended trot may swing it. Sitting or rising?
Ooh. I quite like doing a sitting trot. I feel I've got a better position in a sitting trot.
Rising for me, definitely.
Me. Rising for me.
Well, if I've got stirrups, rising. If I haven't got any stirrups, it's got to be sitting.
I haven't gone through that torture yet.
Wonderful. Well, that's a wrap. That brings us to the end of our discussion. From myself, from our listeners, our viewers, and from our team at BD, a huge thank you to you ladies for joining me this evening. It's been fascinating. It's been so much fun. So a huge thank you to you all.
Well,
You're
thank you
welcome.
for having us, Camille.
Yeah, thank you very
Very
much.
much indeed.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you, much appreciated.
If you're watching, you can check out more great BD at Home content on our social media, and don't forget to head to our website and have a look at Quest, sponsored by Saracen Horse Feeds. It's a great initiative for all riders to get involved with, so please do go to our website and have a look to see how you and your horse could get started.